What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Vinny's Corner. I'm your host, Vinny. That's my boy Cove, my co-host. Thank you to everybody who's checking in tonight. So as you guys know, Vinny's Corner, right? We do all the sports things. I love my combat sports. So this weekend is a big combat sports weekend. So I'll get you guys up to speed on what's going on with these fights coming up this weekend. We'll talk a little bit of NFL, NBA, NHL stuff. Anyone got any questions, got any statements, anything, chime in, feel free. Let us know what you got working. Here we go. We are live. Boom. I'm just going to share this real quick. We are live. We are live. So, all right. As I was saying, welcome back, my guy Cove. Good to have you, bro. So as I was saying, guys, this is a big fight weekend. I know that everybody's not always in tune with boxing. I try and do my best to at least keep you guys up on what's going on. If you've been following the socials this week, you might have seen a few articles I put out highlighting, breaking down the fighters, giving my predictions on 3 out of the 4 title fights that are this weekend. The 4th article will drop tomorrow. But without further ado, this is the Ring Magazine's 4th fight card being held in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, in Saudi Arabia. So this card has 4 title fights on it. The main event. The main event is David Benavidez putting his WBC light heavyweight title up against Anthony Yarde. Now, Benavidez is 30-0. He's an undefeated fighter. Anthony Yarde's a tough dude at light heavyweight. He's 27-3. Those 3 losses are all in title fights. So he's legit. He's real deal. Next, the very popular Devin Haney is fighting this weekend as well. He's looking to possibly get a shot at a welterweight title. He hasn't had a belt in a little while now. He's going up against the newly crowned champion, Brian Norman Jr. I like Brian Norman Jr. I'm not going to go too crazy on all of it right now. I gave my predictions on the articles, guys. Check it out on my X at Vinny's Corner 1. You can see all of it there. But the 3rd fight is a really big one I did want to highlight. It's Jesse Bam Rodriguez fighting Fernando Puma Martinez. Between the 2 of them, they have the WBO, the WBC, the WBA, and the ring belts. So there's only one of the many belts at junior bantamweight at 115 pounds that they don't have. But this is a big unification bout. Bam Rodriguez is he's what I would call in like boxing. He's like a generational talent in boxing, like one of the best guys I've seen, like surefire Hall of Famer when he gets older, and he's only in like his mid-20s. So pretty exciting. That'll be a really cool one. And then last but not least, one of the biggest, hottest prospects out of Cleveland, Ohio, Abdullah Mason. People have been liking this kid for a long time. He fights on Top Rank's banner. He's getting a shot at the vacant WBO lightweight title. He's putting his O on the line. So he's 19-0. He's going to be fighting Sam Noakes from England, who is 18-0, I believe, maybe 17-0. But they're 2 undefeated fighters fighting for their first world titles. All of this goes down this weekend on Saturday on DAZN. If you have a subscription, you can also order pay-per-view, obviously, whatever. I'm not here to promote all that. I'm just here to promote dope boxing. Check it out. The fights start at cover. Let's say this. Coverage starts at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern. So definitely check that out. But without further ado, Vinny's Corner, we like to talk all sports. So let's jump in to the weeks that we've had. Kobe, NFL to start things off, talking football.
Yeah, we'll talk football.
I think that's a good thing. Right. So the first thing, right? Yesterday morning, I sent you a text message. I was like, there's a few things we should definitely talk about. One of them, right off rip, was the Chiefs missing the playoffs. Now, you're a Broncos fan. So this hits home for you, too. Not only are the Chiefs likely to miss the playoffs, but your Broncos are likely to take the division. Or at least that's the way it looks right now as we're 12 weeks into the season.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, for the last 15 years, the in the last 9, it's been owned by KC. But before that, it was the Broncos. So,
okay, so as a fan, I'm sure you're excited. Yeah.
hmm I am excited, but and I mean, I have my biased opinion, but I mean, give me only one victory out of all theirs that really counted for me. Really, like everything else was just too close to call. Like you're beating the Jets 14-10. Like I don't know if I can believe the hype yet.
Okay. I feel like last week's game was the best performance by Bo Nix so far this season.
Yeah, it was in a challenging spot. He needed to take this victory to show that this team was, where they're at. But when you're beating the Jets by 4 and you're beating this guy by 3, that's time deep. Like, yes, it's defensive, but where's the definitive wins? Like, really, except for the Chiefs, really.
Okay, that's fair. Well, okay, and so now, and if the Chiefs are not a playoff team, do we look back at that game and still think it's a quality win?
Oh, it's a quality win because it is the Chiefs. I'm
It's
just
the
saying,
right.
of all the ones they've had so far, that's the most quality win I could see.
Okay, all right, that's fair. I can see why you would say that. Um, okay, okay.
I mean,
Now, when
you look at your opponents. Like, look at the teams that they had beat. None of them are above 500. None of them are really in talks that we were talking about. So give me quality wins. Give me KC, give me Pittsburgh, give me Baltimore, give me Buffalo. Give me those wins. Yeah, those are quality wins.
I'm glad,
Those
so
are
you know what
teams.
you brought up Baltimore. Baltimore is now a 500 team. They
Yeah,
started out awful, but
yeah.
they're now on a 4-game win streak.
hmm
Um, and they're looking to get back in. So they're back in the race full fledged now for the AFC North title.
Yeah.
So Pittsburgh's got a lot going on. And now, do you know? Have you confirmed, or is there? Has it been confirmed? Did Aaron Rodgers break his wrist? And
That
is
I
he
do
going to
not
be
know.
playing this week?
That I do not know. I haven't seen much news about it to
Hmm.
clarify on it.
Interesting. I'm trying. I'm going to look right now just to see if there's anything on it. I know it. Here's the thing. I know it's not his throwing arm. They might have a bye this week.
hmm
Oh no, they don't. They have the Bears
Yeah.
actually. Definitely not a bye. Um, Aaron Rodgers is. Oh, so yeah. So I don't know. Jeff Saturday on ESPN says that he's gonna that Rodgers is gonna play. So he's questionable as of now.
Yeah.
But it's not his throwing arm that's messed up. So I guess we're gonna see what happens there.
Mm.
Um, you know, it's but at the moment it's a little questionable. Um, okay. So now one of the other things I sent you, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on it because to me, like I thought it was pretty bad.
hmm
Uh, what I wrote in the text message I sent this guy, I wrote Spitgate. Right. So what happened with Jamar Chase, right? And Jalen Ramsey, he spits on him. The thing about it to me, so spitting on someone like is already a pretty egregious act to begin with, right?
Yes. Yes.
Dehumanizing stuff.
Yeah.
Now, when they interviewed him after the fact and asked him what happened, he said that he never spit in anyone's direction.
Yeah.
So he then lied on camera, even though they have him on camera spitting on Jalen Ramsey.
It's an egregious act because it is. It's just he just probably just didn't want to just adhere to it right away. I guess I
Like,
would guess so.
listen, I'm far from the greatest person, but like, if I'm like, dude, they have it on camera and you're not owning that, like,
Yeah.
what else? What else would you lie about? Like, what kind of a man are you?
Is
Like,
it is it a lie or do they have somebody in his ear saying, "Hey, just don't"? This is if anybody asks you this, it's like a media deflective question. Just blah. We'll answer it later
I
because
don't
he
know.
doesn't really. he doesn't really have to answer to the media. He had to answer to the NFL. So that was the big difference. It's like, does it really matter that he lied to the media, even though we knew the truth? How many politicians? How many athletes? How many actors? How many people do lie in front of the camera just to hide something from something else because they're already getting nailed for it? So it's like, it's just media deflection.
It happens. It does happen, right? So there's nothing wrong with that.
You didn't want to get that raw, uncut, him just shooting off like, yeah, I spit in his goddamn drawer. No, they didn't want that. So they go, answer it this way, and that's the way it goes.
So what do you think? So here, let me ask you now, just to kind of like, right, just to get past that whole situation, it kind of is what it is. I think it's a little ridiculous, whatever though. But more importantly, let's talk about the teams that are doing things in the NFL. What we have kind of like grouped as maybe the 5 best teams, give or take. Really starting with the 9-2 teams, right? The Broncos, the Broncos and the Pats to me are like a big, I think that's kind of a big one, right?
I mean, it's been a while since we've seen the Broncos and the Patriots going head to head.
Right? Like it's pretty cool. Like this year feels like it's a little bit of a throwback, right? In the AFC.
Yeah, it's an old Brady. You have to say Brady Manning because that was the last great quarterback in Broncos. So it's definitely a Brady Manning era again, per se.
Dude,
But now you have Drake May. Now you have Drake May versus Bo Nix.
So here's the question, right? The Broncos. And so this is your question. I'm just reading them because I have all of it in front of me at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. So with that, Broncos 9-2, leading the AFC West. One of the top teams, tied for the 1 seed at the moment in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's most responsible for it? So like we know it's defense, right? But what is it? Is the defense getting takeaways? Are they getting quarterback pressures? Is it points allowed? Like what exactly are they doing that's so spectacular?
You have to look back at their 32-point comeback. That they ended up winning. It was their defense. Their defense is that's what Denver has always been known about. If you remember when the last time when Manning was around, they won the Super Bowl because of that defense. The defense has always been special. It's taken them a few years to get back to where they were before.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But now they have a quarterback that they can get the ball back, and this quarterback can do game-winning drives.
So what do you like? Let me ask you this, right? Based on what we're seeing this season, from those top drafted quarterbacks, right? So, we got the Penix. Penix got hurt again, right? But outside of him, Jaden Daniels, he got hurt, but he had a sensational year 1. Not too much to be talked about year 2, but injuries, right? Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Bo Nix. Like, are you as a Broncos fan, are you happy with where you guys landed, or with which quarterback out of that group you landed on?
Oh yeah, like 100%. Any team that's sitting where they are right now in their division, in the way they've been playing, even if it, as I like said, quality wins. Any win's a quality win, I guess, to any team. But to this team, they're getting it equal out of their defense and offense, and everything is clicking. So if Bo Nix can't come around, the defense can figure it out. So the team is starting to look more complete.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Next, let's see. So the next 9-2 team, obviously, out of the AFC East. So another pleasant surprise another team looking to upset the balance, right? So we could go from at least 5 years in a row or more that the Chiefs and the Bills won their divisions, the East and the West in the AFC. And now we're looking at a potential where neither of them win that division.
Yes.
And the 1 and 2 seed come out of those divisions still, but as the Broncos and the New England Patriots in either order. It could be the Patriots as the 1 seed. It could be the Broncos. We're not sure yet.
But both the Broncos, both the Broncos and the Patriots had to come back from having an icon of a quarterback, so they had to get a new identity, and New England had to get a new coach, and that's why we're seeing the change in New England.
Well, you know what? The about face and whatever Josh McDaniel has unlocked in Drake May, season 2, unreal, unbelievable. You know what I mean? I mean, he's playing just absolute stellar quarterback. He's definitely the better of the 2 quarterbacks. If you watch the games, you'd be like, wow, Drake May better than Bo Nix. But ultimately, we're getting the same result, right? We're still at the same place at this point.
Yeah.
Now they're a little different, right? So this team, to me, I think one of the biggest pieces immediately is coaching and culture, through Vrabel, but I think that's the hugest change, and obviously Vrabel has 4 former head coaches on his coaching staff. So he's got a lot of experienced coaches working with this young core of players that he's got there in New England.
Oh yeah, the system works. It's Robert Kraft has built a dynasty in a way from 2000 to now, and he wants to continue to be a dynasty. He doesn't want this New England team, which was more or less like the Joe Montana and the Troy Aikman and that era of teams that were like 5, 6 Super Bowls and then just flake out, because we haven't seen one from the Cowboys, we haven't seen from the Niners, we've seen multiple attempts by the Niners since the 90s, but we haven't seen another championship from this team. And Pittsburgh, up until 2010, was in the same boat. They didn't see success for 20, 30 years, right? So now the Patriots are like, okay, we had our dynasty and then we lost our quarterback. Now we need an identity. And they within a few years they get their identity back. And
well,
some go
that's
10, 20
the
years.
hardest part, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, if you look at okay, so I'm a Giants fan from 2014, 2015, like we haven't had a full-blown competent quarterback room until now. We haven't had a franchise quarterback in a long time.
Yeah.
For some of these franchises, it takes forever for them to have been able to go right out there and nail it down. I mean, like Drake May was a rookie QB last year. He is literally, the argument for the most valuable player in the league this season.
Yeah. But wow. you give me next year, Jackson Dart with a lot of quality starts, Scattaboo and Neighbors all healthy, all connecting. That Giants team is going to look like the Giants team you remember.
Going to look like the Giants team that beat Brady.
Yeah.
So
you guys are a year away from looking at a potential, turnover. Now that you lost your coach, now you need your identity back with a coach. With these 3 young guys.
Daboll wasn't it. And I'm okay with that. That's not a problem. Sometimes it's not the answer. Fortunately. So, okay. So now here's a team my grading of this team in recent weeks is a little different. The Colts, right? So the Colts are 8-2 through the first 11 weeks, coming into week 12. Um, so you asked the question, what's the biggest statistical edge they hold? Point differential, turnovers, etc. So what is it? I don't know the answer to that.
They don't. That was more of the opening, like looking at their numbers. Like this team is 8-2, but are they really an 8-2 team? That's the thing.
Well, here's what I think is huge about them. They have a good defense and they're very balanced on offense.
Well, you take that one for the Broncos. This would sway for the Broncos and sway for Indianapolis. If Indianapolis didn't get that call, the Broncos would be 10-1, and the Colts would be 7-3. And it takes away one of their
very official records, but
yeah. But that's where you take a quality win that the Colts have won. They beat the Broncos, which is, as we were talking about, as a top AFC team, and they beat the Broncos, but it was more of an technicality because a call got played and they missed the punt. So I mean, like that's what happened. And they got so. I mean, that could change. That could change the Broncos. The Broncos could be the number one team right now because of that. And this would slot, Indianapolis just down a loss against the Broncos,
okay. So
or a
here's a
potential
question for
playoff
you:
team.
if the playoffs started today,
Yeah,
would New England or would Denver be the 1 seed?
I think New England would be the 1 seed because New England had better quality wins over their same period of time. So I think that New England would be 1 and the Broncos would be 2. Now, because they beat the Chiefs, I think they're pretty equal in quality wins, and it just comes down to statistics. So regardless, it would put 1-2 would be bye anyway. So it doesn't really affect them either way. It's just who they would play in the next round slot off at. But if Indianapolis got into the playoffs after now Denver beating up KC, like in that way, which everyone would look at it because it was a low scoring game. Like that was only a 40-point game when you could have thought 60 or 70 in that game. But now Denver probably could best the Colts in the playoffs, even though the Colts already beat them.
Um, hmm. Well, yeah, if they were to meet in the playoffs, I don't know. I mean, here's okay. So here's what's
I give a
tricky.
slight advantage to I would give a slight advantage to Bo Nix in the playoffs.
Here's what's tricky. Okay, the Indianapolis Colts, if they make the playoffs, and all signs point to the fact that they will.
Yeah.
First, they've got a good defense. Second, they've got a good run game. Those are quintessential pieces for teams to make a deep playoff run.
Yes.
But here's the other caveat. Daniel Jones is actually a playoff winning quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay. So like that guy knows how to win a playoff game. He can do that. So
You could do that, but how would they, after getting that win and having to go into Mile High to get that next victory? Like, do you think Indianapolis can do that? They can get past their wild card and not get hurt, and then go up against a healthy 2 week sitting Broncos team.
I don't know. I mean, anything's possible, right? I think that's
Yeah.
probably the easiest way to say it.
Yeah.
Right.
The only thing that's going to be the unheard thing that I'm going to say we'll all be talking about is Casey doesn't make the playoffs, because we haven't seen Casey in the playoffs in a long time.
It's been a while since they haven't been, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Complete dominance. He's 5-2 in AFC championships, and he's already went to 7 because he's only played in 7. It's just like,
But
So to
before
see
Pat
Patrick
Mahomes,
Mahomes not in the AFC Championship will be the wild thing to see.
but
But
look,
we've seen that with the Astros.
the year before Pat Mahomes, didn't Alex Smith take them to the playoffs too?
Not there, not to the championship, conference championship. He took him to the playoffs. But since Patrick Mahomes has taken over, he's went to 7 straight AFC championships.
Yeah, he's so dominant. He's such a stud.
So to see them not in the playoffs is the surprise.
Well, and actually, it's kind
Right.
of just because I just called him so dominant. Let me ask you the question: Is that is the allure are they not the boogeyman anymore? Like teams used to be like, oh shit, like it's the Chiefs are coming. Like
Yeah,
now
it's
it's kind of
easily.
like whatever.
But now you can silence the haters. It's like the league's for the Chiefs. No, the league's not for the Chiefs. They're 4-6. If
Yeah,
the
I
league
mean,
was for the Chiefs, they would not be sitting at 4-6.
listen, that narrative, I mean, that narrative is pretty finished, I would think.
Yeah.
I don't
Now,
know.
if they go in, win every game, go into the final, go to the playoffs, and walk through and walk with another championship, I might look differently at that. Because how do you go from a 4-6 team to a playoff team and then just win right out? Like I just can't see Casey doing that.
It's fair. All right, so let me ask you, I'm going to do a quick rundown. Maybe I'm trying to see if there's a good game that we really should be highlighting this week. All right, so we got Carolina and the 49ers, Rams and the Bucks, Eagles and the Cowboys. What is just looking to see the Rams and the Bucks is a pretty good one.
That is a possible, that could be a playoff potential, right?
And then also the Colts and the Colts are at Kansas City this week.
There you
This is a
go.
really
This
this
is
is a
a
big week for them.
yeah.
Big
So
week.
yeah, as we were saying, if KC loses to Indianapolis, they're 4-7. Then we're definitely looking at the possibility of not seeing the
No,
Chiefs in
no,
the
no. They'll
playoffs.
be 5-6.
They'll be 5-6.
Yeah, they're 500 right now. They're a 500 team right now.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Um, but so the point is, those are there's a couple of games that are just like some real big ones. Those are two. So Indianapolis and Kansas City. How do you see that going? It's in Arrowhead, by the way.
After losing to the Broncos, I can't see it happening. This is where I'd see KC showing up and saying, "Okay, we lost to the Broncos. We're not losing to the Colts. We are trying to get ourselves back into a wild card spot." They're not looking at division; they're looking at wild card spots. So they're like, "We need this key victory because if we can take down the Colts, we'll be more confident on taking down the next team and the next team after that." But right now, as you say, the 500 team, they're looking at, okay, we have how many games remaining? Let's focus every week on this one victory and then take it to the next.
Yeah,
They're
I
not
think
sitting. They're not sitting in a position where they're going. They're not 9-2, going. We can lose a week or two. No, now they're going. Now they're full focus and going. We need to go back.
um there so the Chiefs are actually Chiefs are a pretty heavy betting favorite on the money line. Chiefs are minus 195.
Yes.
But on the spread, it's minus 3.5 on the spread. That's
Yeah.
actually so the home team gets 3 points on the spread anyway. So
Yeah.
really, people think this game's way more even than the money line would say.
Oh yeah. This is coming down to a field goal. Like this is a field goal or best kind of game.
Um, I want to see the Colts show up. I don't know. I would be surprised if Pat Mahomes lost at home, but
Yeah.
we're gonna see. We
I
are
mean,
gonna
he
see.
already has, so
Well, true. You're right. You're right. And then Bucks and the Rams. So the Rams are a fairly significant favorite, right? They're at least
yeah.
a touchdown. They're a touchdown favorite. Minus 320 on the money line, and then minus 7 on the spread. The Bucks have just been decimated by injuries yet again. Baker does his thing, but
Baker does this thing, but when he's got a partial team, it's not the same.
yeah, no, 100%. And if I'm not mistaken, this game is going to be in Los Angeles. And Matt Stafford currently has 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
And over 2,500 yards. So, he's playing MVP football.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason that they would not win. I would be shocked. Let's say that.
Stafford's 100% going for this. He's going for the ring, and I think that's it for him at his age, and he's going to go off on a high.
It would be dope if he won another ring this season and then retired. That would be dope. Like that would be I think that would make sure he got into the Hall of Fame. Like I feel like people talk about whether or not he's going to get into the Hall of Fame. I think that would be the thing that put him over the edge. So that would be cool. But if he wins it, he's got to be the MVP.
You came from the Lions to go to, and some people will say that the Rams are already built, but they were built for Goff, and then he comes over and takes his team to a championship. So
in one season, he's a stud.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No arguments there. No arguments there at all. I'm with you. All right. So, all right. We talked a little bit about the fights that are going on this week. We talked a little bit about the football that's going on this week. Let's talk a little bit about the basketball. So the NBA season, and I don't know if anyone's seen, like I've actually made posts about this stuff, but the NBA season is now a few weeks in. We're about 15 games in, give or take, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I know Oklahoma City Thunder are 14-1. Yeah. So 15 games in. Luka and the Lakers. Luka's looked amazing. LeBron came back yesterday and kind of fit right in there pretty seamlessly. Yeah. Let me ask, like, what do you think, like, Oklahoma City, like, have you watched, I know you're not huge on the NBA, but you usually know what's going on, especially with the top teams. Like, is this the start of a dynasty? Like, is this team running it back this year?
I think it's too early to say dynasty. You were talking about one championship and a 14 record to complete it afterwards. I wouldn't say a dynasty yet.
No, it's not a dynasty yet. I'm saying it's like these are the makings. Like,
yeah,
you got to go win another championship, keep it rolling from there. But like, is this a team that you see like going back to the NBA Finals, or is there a team you've seen? Like, I watch every NBA game. The NBA has been the best sport so far this fall. Like, it's
you're gonna talk about the 14-1 Oklahoma. Yes, they won the championship. But you got the 13-2 Pistons now.
But it's completely different. One team's coming off of a 70-win season or a 68-game winning season or whatever, and a completely dominating title run. Yeah. And one team is playing good ball. Completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you can't, like, this team that's playing this year has the opportunity to be like the second, third best team statistically of all time. Yes. Like 2016 Golden State Warriors, 98 Bulls type shit. Like, this team is good. This team is really good. Very fun to watch. And they've been playing without one of their stars, Williams, Jalen Williams, which is kind of crazy because they've just been dominating people, and it makes no difference, if I'm being completely honest. So it's been really cool to see.
I mean, the Bulls started out with 9-1, and the Bulls started out really strong, but they've kind of tapered off a little bit now.
You know what, though? The Bulls weren't supposed to be this good, and the Bulls look competitive. So, like, they're not perfect, but I'm not sure if White's back or not yet. But Josh Giddey's played pretty well for them so far. They've looked like a good team. They've played, I think, above expectation, which is really cool for them. Because it's a city that's had, such a run for itself in the last 30, 40 years. where it's like, you'd like to see them kind of get back into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you asked the question, what changes the Pistons made, and then you brought them up here.
Mhm.
But like what things that they did to kind of put them up there with a top team like OKC.
I believe it was their recruiting and their rebuilding that's made Detroit the way they are now.
Yeah.
They've had a few bad years, so now Detroit's like, okay, we had a few bad years, but here we go. We had the 03, 04, 05, Pistons show up. It was like 13, 14, they weren't so bad. It's just every so many years you get a good Pistons team.
Well, so this guy, Cade Cunningham, for them, he's awesome. He's a great player.
It
But
was one of those ideas where, you took Cade and then you rebuilt around him. And this is the product of rebuilding around him.
yeah, and really, okay, so like their
Because,
center, Jalen Duren, he's awesome.
like you
Um,
had said before, the triple threat is gone now. You have the big three. Now you got one or two guys you kind of just build around.
but this is like this team is a good team. So Cunningham, Jalen Duren's a really solid piece as a center, no question about that. You have a guy running the ball like Cade Cunningham. Eamon Thompson's brother, Asor Thompson, he's on the team as well. They've got some really, really good pieces on this team. They're young, they have really good chemistry. As a Knicks fan, this is exactly what I don't want to see. I don't know, like this is supposed to be our year, right? Right? Like everyone else is not supposed to be that good.
Yeah.
Well, what happened? The season started and like the Pistons are that good. They were a tough out when we got rid of them in the playoffs. We barely did it. They were an upstart last year and we barely got rid of them. Now they've got that experience and a little pedigree with them, and it shows.
Oh, I thought about this the other day because we always troll back and forth on through the shows and everything. I was like, oh man, you talk about the Knicks being so good. I might as well go buy myself an Ewing jersey to talk about when they were good. Not now.
Somebody made a post about if there's a player that we wish could have seen win a championship, that's the guy. If the Knicks could have won one championship in the 90s, they could have pulled one off from the Bulls.
Yeah.
Great that New York championship would have been if they could have got it. If they could have got it during the Jordan era, forget it.
Yeah.
Like that, that's forever right there. That's as good as it gets.
But where I was gonna go with this is like, when's the last time a New York team won? And when's the last time you've been to New York? So maybe you're the New York curse.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm the New York Islanders curse. We know that.
Yeah.
That's
No, but
actually true.
you go from the year you're born to the year you left New York and all the championships you stacked up, and now look at the years you've been out of New York and how many championships you stacked up.
Well, listen, I'm not going back, so it's too bad. It's too bad, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So kind of the next thing that's been for this NBA season, many have called him on more than one account, even though he was not the MVP or champion last season, the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic. And Jokic, again, he has started this season. He has had a triple-double in every other game so far.
Yeah.
He is averaging a triple-double. This guy is like, I've been fortunate enough to be alive for a lot of really good centers in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say he's the best center or anything like that. He's not, but he's definitely he's been exceptional to watch. I feel like more importantly, management went ahead, so he took a little less. He made a statement at the end of the season, basically like let them know like that they needed to put some pieces together around him, add a little depth to the team because they didn't have it. So they went out and they brought some guys back into the team. They were able to add some depth in the offseason. It was important. I think that it's helped across the board for that team so far. And I think that it shows to start this season. Like they've started off pretty quick. You know, what are they? 10-3, 10-4, maybe 11-3. But
10
yeah,
and 4.
okay. Yeah, and they're a good team. They're a good
Yeah.
team. You know, Jamal Murray, that's the other thing that I think has been huge for them is that Jamal Murray has showed up in the beginning of the season. He usually doesn't get here until the playoffs. Playoff Jamal started out the season game 1 this year, though, and that's been huge for them.
Oh yeah, you need that all around. Like you said, like this team's not built on 5 superstars anymore. It's just someone's got to show up. So he's got to show up. They want this team to succeed, not just in because you also have the inaugural. Like we don't really talk about it. We call it the Mickey Mouse Championship.
What, the
But
NBA Cup?
yeah,
Listen, I enjoy those games too. I watch those too. Okay.
Yeah. So right now they got to play because every so often game counts towards this cup, and they can get their interim championship.
Well, here's the thing. I think just overall, like regardless of that cup or whatever, I just think that the NBA has done a good job over the last year or so. It started to put together a better product. And I enjoy watching it a lot more. I think it's gotten way more competitive.
No. It's exciting for the fans in every which way. It's just,
I think it's gotten way more competitive again, which is pretty huge.
MLB goes one way, NBA goes another way, NFL's going this way, NHL's going that way. They're not just going straight up in the same path. We're just going to play regular season games, playoff games, off season. Now every league is.
Listen, I legitimately this is not a joke. I'm not just saying it. Everyone else I know that's a sports fan watches Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
I watch the NBA on Monday night. I do not watch football. I don't even like this season is when I started doing this because they have it on, but it's been so good that I'm like, no, I don't need that last game of football for the week. Like I need that first game of NBA for the week. That's what I need. It's been so good.
I also think when you're looking at lineup as a sports fan itself, it's like you look at the Monday Nighters that have been playing versus what else is on.
Listen, man, the NBA is putting out a good product. That's all I know. The NBA is putting out a good product. So they're doing a fine job of what they're doing. I got no beef with that. And it's been exciting to watch. Jokic just hit a triple-double. He is such a stud. He is such a stud. Like, what? Boy, that guy is something different. As we're sitting here talking about him, he hits another triple-double. The best part about it is that I bet on it. So this is something I do. Every night that the Golden Nuggets, I was about to call them, that the Nuggets play, I just bet on Jokic to hit the triple-double. I mean, that's why I know. I get the update for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, good stuff. Awesome. But he does, you know what? He's so good and he does it so often. Like any other player in the NBA, triple-double is it's a plus money thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not that easy to be done.
Mm.
Him, it's not. Like where anyone else you might put up $100 and get back like a couple hundred, say, maybe even more. In his case, you put up 100 and you'll get out like 100 and change.
Yeah.
Because it's just because he's that consistent. He's the one thing I know I can. If I bet on him to hit a triple-double every night, I hit it more times than not now. It's pretty good.
I mean, there's certain guys in the NHL like that. It's they have a high average like Crosby or Connor and Connor McDavid, and they're a point per game kind of guy, and you see a good. Oh, is Crosby going to get an assist or a goal tonight? It's like it's a go for it because you just know the guy has a legit, is a 1 point. Oh, he's like a 1 point something percentage of getting a point per game. So it's bound to happen.
Well, you brought it up, so let's talk about it. The NHL, hockey's been really good to start. So, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just maybe I just needed to like get into other sports again because me, like everyone else in America, I was just too focused on NFL. But
Yeah.
like the NHL season has started out so good too.
Hmm.
Oh my god!
I mean, we already have the robbery of the year, which happened with Bob Roski sitting on. We'll say, well, I'm at the post. He's over here. He slides backwards, reaches backwards on Tampa, and catches it midair, and just stops dead on it. It's just like we already got the bobbery already, and it was not even November. Connor Bedard's on fire right at the moment. We're not talking about Connor McDavid. We're talking about Bedard, who last year I think got 20 plus points, and now he's got a high 30 points, and we're only 15 games in. I mean, so we're seeing something out of Chicago we haven't seen in a while. Production. They're not just giving up goals; they're putting up goals. Now they have a pretty 500 average at the moment, but they've been playing tough opponents per se. They have had a tougher schedule at the start, and they don't really have a quality tendy at the moment. That's 1-2 or even one at the moment. That's going to help them.
The middle of the pack, the 500 teams in hockey
Yeah.
are good.
Yes.
Right now, the middle of the pack in hockey is very good, very tough hockey. There's no other way to say it. Like the middle of the pack now is really 10 wins.
Yeah, because the thing I think the evolution of sports. I'll just say the wording say evolution of sports. Hockey is just such a game that it's like you don't have to be a 60-win team to win a playoff team. You could be a 47-win playoff team and win it all. It's just you get the wins when you need to get these wins, and
Well, that
these guys like it doesn't matter if it's a strong offense, strong defense. It's somebody somewhere on pulls up an amazing year. It's just an amazing sport to see. It's just like it's not, yes, Connor McDavid would lead his team every year, but sometimes it's Rod Nugent Hopkins or it's Drysaddle or it could be somebody else. Like it's not always the same guys. Like you see in baseball, like you see it's always judged for MVP or you see it's always LeBron for scoring title. It's just different every year. Like Jamie Benn, like 2015, won the Art Bing Trophy or something like that with like 83 points. It was that close between everybody else. Like it was like the lowest total we ever seen in our era of watching hockey. That someone with under 90 points have wins an Art Ross. It's
that's it.
just I just find like hockey is just such like everybody's just a point or two away from each other in every category. It can go either way. There's no dominance anymore.
Well,
It's just
okay,
such a
so
equal.
then I guess so. If you feel like there is so much parity in the league at this point,
Yeah.
but if there is, then why is a team like the Florida Panthers just so dominant?
I think they become dominant because they built a core team. Now, this team that we're talking about, both the Panthers, they started in development in 2015, 2016, 2017, and now we're seeing the final product like 5 years later. This is not just an overnight success. This has been something in production with Florida since 2015. 10 years to build this team. They just found the right guys to play together. Detroit was the same way. In 1994, the Detroit was a certain team. Then 95, they changed their team just a little bit, and we had them 95 to 2005, where they were an extremely dominant team for nearly a decade. And then you had other teams that come into after that, like that.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's just
Right.
sometimes you get the right players at the right time and they fit.
See, I feel like here's my thing. I feel like in hockey, like like this is what's weird about this is what's cool and what's weird about hockey, right? Teams go into these long periods of development, just what you were just explaining,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it might take them, right? Like, so it might have just taken them the last 10 years to put it back together,
Yeah.
right? And then in the next couple of years, they'll just suddenly go on a run. Like the Blackhawks will suddenly go on a run,
Yeah.
right? And like the Blackhawks will win like 2 or 3 cups.
Yeah.
Like every couple of years, another team pops out and just wins like 2 or 3 cups.
Yeah.
Like it's such a common thing in hockey, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
We
Where
just don't
like
know. We've talked about teams that have that potential, like the Carolina Hurricanes. They have that potential to be that kind of team, but they just can't seem to get past the third round. They
well,
seem to kind of freeze up.
Florida freezes them up.
But now you potentially don't have that threat per se right now. You looked at how it lined up right now. Yeah, Carolina's looking pretty, but you also got to play New Jersey. You also have to play you got to play teams like that. You got to play other teams that are kind of gritty in the 500s. Like Toronto might be looking on the outside right now, but Toronto could make a run to get in the playoffs. Like we
I
just don't know.
firmly believe the Islanders could beat any team in the East in a 7-game series right now.
Yeah.
And not that I think they're that good. It's that I think they're that sneaky dangerous. Like they're the kind of team.
They have become that sneaky dangerous because Schaefer has turned out to be that kind of defenseman that we haven't seen in a long time.
That's a fact. Like you can't when you see the Islanders and you're going to place a bet, you can no longer just see the other team and be like, I'll take that team. If
Yeah.
you see the Islanders are playing them, you go, should we go for the over or the under? Because you don't want to bet against them because they might fucking beat you. You know what I mean? Like that's who they are right now.
Now, I read this story the other day, just made me laugh. We're talking about the Panthers being a dominant team. What about the Oilers, who've also went to the last 2 Stanley Cups? I think we talk more about Florida because Florida went to the last 3 Stanley Cups.
It's because they
But
win.
yeah, but
Like
the Oilers don't. I don't think they look like a threat in the playoffs right now.
the
I
Oilers don't look like a threat at all right now. You're right.
Yeah,
And that's I
it's
feel like they need to bring in an additional goaltender that they just don't have at this point. But that's what I feel like they need for later.
well,
Like,
that's what I
and I
was
think
reading
they'll get
about. Was they were talking about Stewart and the Buffalo Sabres of all teams was the team that to troll Stewart in the net. The Sabres. I mean, we're talking about a team that most people are like they still exist because we have seen nothing but a horrible Sabres. I
remember
think the curse 98-99 curse. I think that's what happened. We we had that Brett Hall kicking goal, and Buffalo just has never recovered from it.
were they still wearing the ugly jerseys at that point with
Are you
Dominic
talking
Hasek and all them?
Dominic Hasek with the black with the other saber? Yes, the,
Zhitnik,
the black, silver, and red saber.
Miroslav Shatan, Alexei Zhitnik, and the defenseman. I know that whole team. I knew that team front to back.
But that team should have won it. I don't. I think the Brett Hall goal was just bullshit. I get it as a league standard, but it was just you're gonna win a Stanley Cup on that way. I mean, Hall recovered from it, and so did Hasek because they went both to the Red Wings like 4 years later, and they helped with the Wings hit the Hurricanes in '03.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Nothing wrong with that at all. So tomorrow, are you planning on doing a show tomorrow? Tomorrow, or are you planning on doing a show tomorrow?
Yeah, the normally is Thursday night for me. It just depends on if who's available and who's not.
All right. I'm out. I'm out and about. Rock and roll. Um, Baseball, like off season stuff. Like, what are we talking about?
I believe more baseball offseason stuff because we've had to wait a couple weeks for really to see something of any nature of because right now they're in a 45 day agreement hold of for contracts. So like this is not going to be 13 deals in one day. They're going to be once every couple days. So we need to have a couple weeks to figure out and talk about the deals and see who's still available and see what's really going to happen of like who's really going to move
I'm gonna
because
think of a couple of like trade things that I think should happen. I'm gonna bring to the table tomorrow night so we can talk about that.
yeah.
I'm going
I
to the
mean,
trade machine for this. Let's
oh
go.
yeah, yeah. No, there's a huge possibilities. You got Pete Alonso, you got Kyle Tucker, you
I
got
got I'm
Bergman,
all the way in.
you got a ton of talent coming into this 45 days. So it's like I've already heard rumors of Bichette, rejecting an extension. That doesn't mean it's going to be naysay on the Blue Jays, but it just means he wants long term. He doesn't
No,
want to
that's
be
the yeah. So rejecting the offer is actually the way it's done. You
yeah.
reject it for the yeah. I got this confused myself a couple years ago from a I think in a basketball issue.
Mhm.
Somebody didn't exercise the option, and I was like, "What the?" And it was like, and they were like, "No, they want the long term." I was like, "Oh, they want to always be there."
Yeah,
God,
they don't. Bichette has already explained that he wants to stay in Toronto and he wants a long term contract. Like
good.
I think it was north of 200 million, just north of 200 million for 5 years. Like he's not asking for a 10 year, 15 year contract. He's asking for as a contribution, 20 million a year at least, for 5 years. He's asking for a significant amount. He was like a very dominant bat for Toronto and their success of the season.
Dude, he was so good.
Regardless, you got to the Dodgers to Game 7 of the World Series.
Bro, he came back off of like 2 month layoff and just started hitting like he hadn't been out at all
Yeah.
overnight. We were
So
like, should they let him in right away? Should they take their time? They threw him in the lineup right away and he was just hitting immediately.
yeah. So that's what
Like
I'm saying. Like
that
this
guy
guy is
performed.
worth the $200 million. Like he is.
Yeah, he
But the thing
absolutely performed.
But the thing is now he's performed, but now people that have that money are willing to spend that money on that type of player.
Well,
And
I
there,
mean,
and the only thing quickly I was going to say about it is there's now talks like if Bichette seems to walk, um, then they might go after Kyle Tucker.
interesting.
So that's what I mean. But it's 45 days. It's like you go for one guy, you don't get him. They might still be able to put in play for somebody else.
You know who could really do for if the Phillies added a guy like him? That could be, but I don't know. But I don't. I'm just thinking about it sheerly from his batting standpoint.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I'll
I don't
put
even,
this on you. I would like to see. This is the crazy thing that probably will never happen, but I would love to see Bryce Harper leave Philly and see how Philly produces the year after Bryce Harper.
hmm.
If it costs getting Kyle Tucker on the team and losing Harper, I'm I'm fair with it. I would just love to see it. It's kind of like a Dan Marino kind of curse thing. Like he's that good, but I just don't know if he's that good to win a championship with anybody.
I'm not even gonna get into this, but I'm one of those guys that will tell you that Marino, whatever. I don't believe it. I don't like, but I saw him at the end of his career, so that we'll talk about that a whole nother time, man. Whatever. Tomorrow night, everybody, we're going to be talking about Major League Baseball. We will be back here, same place, same time, different name, talking baseball, two bald guys and maybe somebody else. be here or be square. I'm very excited. I'm bringing my trade proposals. You let me know what you think, and we'll chop it up.
Yeah.
All right. Tomorrow night, my bro. Later.